Today, we're going to be learning how to add the ancient Dominion to Star Trek Ascendancy. Established in the Gamma Quadrant thousands of years ago, the Changelings rule as gods, controlling their forces with their Vorta commanders and their fearsome Jem'Hadar soldiers. The discovery of the Bajoran wormhole has brought the Dominion into conflict with the much younger civilizations of the Alpha Quadrant. Take control of Dominion, venture through the wormhole, and establish your place as the dominant civilization of the galaxy. First, integrate the Dominion into your game. Shuffle the 20 new exploration cards into your exploration deck. Set the Great Link system, homeworld and starting location of the Dominion aside in the Bajor, Idrin, and wormhole system. Now we have a choice to make. You can either ignore the Gamma Quadrant by setting the Bajor, Idrin, and wormhole system and Gamma Quadrant systems to the side and play a typical game of Star Trek Ascendancy. Or, as a Dominion player, you can elect to start in the Gamma Quadrant. Now, let's show you how you can start as a Dominion in the Gamma Quadrant. The Gamma Quadrant systems are marked by the Gamma Quadrant symbol. Keep these separate from Alpha Quadrant systems. Place each player's starting system per the rules, and then place the Bajor, Idrin, and wormhole system with the Idrin side closest towards the Great Link system. If no player is playing the Dominion, you can still explore the Gamma Quadrant. Instead of placing it in the center, set the Bajor, Idrin, and wormhole system aside, and each time a player draws a phenomenon, roll the space lane dice. If the result is 4, replace the phenomenon with the Bajor, Idrin, and wormhole system and connect it to Bajor. The Bajor system starts as a warp-capable independent civilization per its stats on the system card, and unlike most independent civilization, it has a starbase, Deep Space Nine. When a player takes control of Bajor, they gain control of its starbase and a command token. If you have the Cardassian expansion, remove the Bajor system from the system disks, as the Bajor, Idrin, and wormhole system now replaces this system. Lastly, prepare the Gamma Quadrant systems at the same time that you do the Alpha Quadrant system stack. Separate out the interstellar phenomenon system disks from the planetary system disks. Choose 2 random planetary system disks and place them at the top of the shuffled pile of Gamma Quadrant system disks. Now we're ready to start exploring the Gamma Quadrant. Exploring the Gamma Quadrant is identical to the way you've previously explored in the Alpha Quadrant. You will place the space lane per normal. However, when resolving the discovery of a system connected to a Gamma system, you must draw your system disk from the Gamma Quadrant pile. Space lanes can never connect an Alpha Quadrant system to a Gamma Quadrant system. The only way to travel between the 2 quadrants is through the Bajor wormhole. Lastly, players cannot set up space lanes and systems in a way that makes it impossible to connect a system to Bajor or Idrin. The Bajorian wormhole is the only way to move ships and fleets between the Alpha Quadrant and Gamma Quadrant. Ships and fleets cannot move through the wormhole at warp speed, and must exit warp at either Bajor or Idrin. After they have done so, you must exhaust 1 command token, and you can then move from one system to the other in either direction. Now that we know how to explore the Gamma Quadrant and set up the Dominion in the game, let's take a look at what the Dominion can bring to Alpha Quadrant. At the start of the game, in addition to the normal setup, place 5 infiltrators on the Great Link. The Dominion player may exhaust 2 command tokens to move them to any system on the board from the Great Link. They may use a command token to move an adjacent system of their own, or to return to the Great Link. The Dominion has many advancements that allow them to perform actions in systems that have infiltrators. For example, the False Orders lets you use your own command tokens to move rival ships that are in orbit around systems that an infiltrator is in, as if they were your own. For the unique Dominion faction rules, refer to your command console. The Dominion with the Jem'Hadar have access to incredibly powerful soldiers, and some advancements give you more command tokens you can use to boost your damage output. You also have infiltrators you can use to sabotage your opponents. This potent combo will let you gain the upper hand and take over the Alpha Quadrant, and then eventually establish your dominance in 2 quadrants at once. The Dominion War Rules variant changes your typical game of Star Trek Ascendancy by dividing the players into 2 rival alliances. Before placing their home system, each player draws an alliance selection card. All players in the same alliance then sit together on one side of the table. Each player starts the game with their home system connected to 4 explored and colonized planetary systems. Each player creates a string of systems to connect with the player to their right. They keep rolling the space lane die and placing a new space lane connecting to a random face-down system disk with an encounter card also face-down, until they can link their home system to that player's home system. Each player now builds the 3 resource nodes on their home system and 9 additional resource nodes on adjacent systems that they control. All players start the game having made contact and may exchange trade agreements with their allies before the game begins. Each player can only hold one trade agreement at a time. In this game, players can have all 3 of their fleets and all 3 of their starbases in play regardless of ascendancy level. You can enter or move through sectors and systems containing allied ships and form fleets but not build ships at their starbases. You can also exhaust an additional command token when initiating a space battle to have allied fleets and ships join in your space battles or planetary invasions. Each alliance has a deck of alliance cards that give bonuses to them or the alliance as a whole. A player can have only up to 3 alliance cards in effect or in their hand at any time, and draws 2 new ones each turn, so there's no risk of running out. One of the biggest differences from normal is that you can't be kicked out of the game. If an adversary takes your home system, it remains your home system and you still control it. However, you are now at peace with your adversary's alliance and cannot attack them. The good news is that they can't attack you or your planets either. Your Conqueror levies a tax of half of everything you own or earn, can use all of your advancements, and you must discard all alliance cards and revoke all trade agreements with your allies. Things look bleak, but you still play for your own alliance. To help you fight back, you draw resistance cards instead of alliance cards. Resistance cards allow you to sabotage your Conqueror, steal resources from them, or secretly build extra ships. Others allow you to start an open rebellion. The dastardly rebels attack your Conqueror, while you are still officially loyal to your new overlords so they can't invade your planets. You don't need to stay conquered. You can rebel if the conquering player ends their turn with 3 or fewer ships in orbit of your home system. If your rebels destroy all adversary ships in orbit, you are free. Alternatively, a member of your alliance can liberate you by occupying your home system. You are back in the game.